Hello again everyone and welcome back to Everyday Intelligence, the channel where we learn and use military and intelligence instruments to understand the world around us. Today we are going to talk about analytic standards, tenets of intelligence analysis that can help us quickly assess and analyze an information that is presented to us in everyday life. In this information environment characterized with fake news, information disorder, malinformation, misinformation and disinformation, where the news might be weaponized and used against us in an information warfare context as we see every day with the Russian war against Ukraine. Therefore, it's fundamental to counter these challenges and threats in order to actually gain situational understanding and awareness. In the intelligence tradecraft, all the products and processes must comply with the Intelligence Community Directive 203 that establishes analytic standards. These analytic standards define and organize the tenets that govern the production and evaluation of analytic products, articulates the responsibility of intelligence analysts to strive for excellence, integrity, and rigor in their analytic thinking and work practices. Analytic standards are the core principles of intelligence analysis and are to be applied across the intelligence community. Analytic standards shall be applied in each analytic product in a manner appropriate to its purpose, to the type and scope of its underlying source information, to its production timeline, and to its receivers. These standards assist in determining the relevance and value of information before updating existing intelligence assessments and govern the production and evaluation of intelligence analysis to meet the highest standards of integrity and rigorous analytic thinking. Although created for national-level intelligence agencies, these analytic standards are also valid at the operational and tactical levels. The IC analytic standards are the foundational assessment criteria for a regular program of review of intelligence analytic products. Each intelligence element shall maintain a program of product evaluation using the analytic standards as the core elements for assessment criteria. The analytic standards serve as a common intelligence community foundation for developing education and training in analytic skills. The results of analytic product evaluations will be used to improve materials and programs for education and training in analytic knowledge, skills, abilities, and tradecraft. The standards also promote a common ethic for achieving analytic rigor and excellence, and for personal integrity in analytic practice. The standards promote the protection of privacy and civil liberties by ensuring the objectivity, timeliness, relevance, and accuracy of personally identifiable information, PII, used in analytic products. Analysts should include PII in products only as it relates to a specific analytic purpose consistent with the intelligence element mission and in compliance with its regulation and policy, including procedures to prevent, identify, and correct errors in PII. All analytic products shall be consistent with the following 5 analytic standards, including the 9 analytic tradecraft standards. 1. Objectivity. Analysts must perform their functions with objectivity and with awareness of their own assumptions and reasoning. They must employ reasoning techniques and practical mechanisms that reveal and mitigate bias. Analysts should be alert to influence by existing analytic positions or judgments and must consider alternative perspectives and contrary information. Analysis should not be unduly constrained by previous judgments when new developments indicate a modification is necessary. 2. Independence of political consideration. Analytic assessments must not be distorted by, nor shaped for, advocacy of a particular audience, agenda, or policy viewpoint. Analytic judgments must not be influenced by the force of preference for a particular policy. 3. Timeliness. Analysis must be disseminated in time for it to be actionable by customers. Analytic elements have the responsibility to be continually aware of events of intelligence interest, of customer activities and schedules, and of intelligence requirements and priorities, in order to provide useful analysis at the right time. 4. Based on all available sources of intelligence information. Analysis should be informed by all relevant information available. Analytic elements should identify and address critical information gaps and work with collection activities and data providers to develop access and collection strategies. 5. Implements and exhibits the 9 analytic tradecraft standards. All analytic products shall be consistent with the following 9 analytic tradecraft standards. 1. Properly describes quality and credibility of underlying sources, data, and methodologies. Analytic products should identify underlying sources and methodologies upon which judgments are based, and use source descriptors in accordance with Intelligence Community Directive 206 about sourcing requirements for disseminated analytic products, to describe factors affecting source quality and credibility. Such factors can include accuracy and completeness, possible denial and deception, age and continued currency of information, and technical element. of collection as well as source access, validation, motivation, possible bias, or expertise. Source summary statements, described in ICD 206, are strongly encouraged and should be used to provide a holistic assessment of the strengths or weaknesses in the source base and explain which sources are most important to key analytic judgments. 2. Properly expresses and explains uncertainties associated with major analytic judgments. Analytic products should indicate and explain the basis for the uncertainties associated with major analytic judgments, specifically the likelihood of occurrence of an event or development, and the analyst's confidence in the basis for this judgment. Degrees of likelihood encompass a full spectrum from remote to nearly certain. Analysts' confidence in an assessment or judgment may be based on the logic and evidentiary base that underpin it, including the quantity and quality of source material, and their understanding of the topic. Analytic products should note causes of uncertainty, for example, type, currency, and amount of information, knowledge gaps, and the nature of the issue, and explain how uncertainties affect analysis, for example to what degree and how a judgment depends on assumptions. As appropriate, products should identify indicators that would alter the levels of uncertainty for major analytic judgments. Consistency in the terms used and the supporting information and logic advanced is critical to success in expressing uncertainty, regardless of whether likelihood or confidence expressions are used. A. For expressions of likelihood or probability, an analytic product must have the terms provided by the probability yardstick. Analysts are strongly encouraged not to mix terms from different rows. Products that do mix terms must include a disclaimer clearly noting the terms indicate the same assessment of probability. B. To avoid confusion, products that express an analyst's confidence in an assessment or judgment using a confidence level, for example, high confidence, must not combine a confidence level and a degree of likelihood, which refers to an event or development, in the same sentence. 3. Properly distinguishes between underlying intelligence information and analysts' assumptions and judgments. Analytic products should clearly distinguish statements that convey underlying intelligence information used in analysis from statements that convey assumptions or judgments. Assumptions are defined as suppositions used to frame or support an argument. Assumptions affect analytic interpretation of underlying intelligence information. Judgments are defined as conclusions based on underlying intelligence information, analysis, and assumptions. Products should state assumptions explicitly when they serve as the linchpin of an argument or when they bridge key information gaps. Products should explain the implications for judgments if assumptions prove to be incorrect. Products also should, as appropriate, identify indicators that, if detected, would alter judgments. 4. Incorporates analysis of alternatives. Analysis of alternatives is the systematic evaluation of differing hypotheses to explain events or phenomena, explore near-term outcomes, and imagine possible futures to mitigate surprise and risk. Analytic products should identify and assess plausible alternative hypotheses. This is particularly important when major judgments must contend with significant uncertainties or complexity, for example, forecasting future trends, or when low-probability events could produce high-impact results. In discussing alternatives, products should address factors such as associated assumptions, likelihood, or implication related to national interests. Products also should identify indicators that, if detected, would affect the likelihood of identified alternatives. 5. Demonstrates customer relevance and addresses implication. Analytic products should provide information and insight on issues relevant to the customers of intelligence and address the implications of the information and analysis they provide. Products should add value by addressing prospects, context, threats, or factors affecting opportunities for action. 6. Uses clear and logical argumentation. Analytic products should present a clear main analytic message up front. Products containing multiple judgments should have a main analytic message that is drawn collectively from those judgments. All analytic judgments should be effectively supported by relevant intelligence information and coherent reasoning. Language and syntax should convey meaning unambiguously. Products should be internally consistent and acknowledge significant supporting and contrary information affecting judgments. 7. Explains change to or consistency of analytic judgments. Analytic products should state how their major judgments on a topic are consistent with or represent a change from those in previously published analysis, or represent initial coverage of a topic. Products need not be lengthy or detailed in explaining change or consistency. They should avoid using boilerplate language, however, and should make clear how new information or different reasoning led to the judgments expressed in them. Recurrent products such as daily crisis reports should note any changes in judgments. Absent changes, recurrent products need not confirm consistency with previous editions. Significant differences in analytic judgment, such as between two intelligence analytic elements, should be fully considered and brought to the attention of customers. 8. Makes accurate judgments and assessments. Analytic products should apply expertise and logic to make the most accurate judgments and assessments possible, based on the information available and known information gaps. In doing so, analytic products should present all judgments that would be useful to customers, and should not avoid difficult judgments in order to minimize the risk of being wrong. Inherent to the concept of accuracy is that the analytic message a customer receives should be the one the analyst intended to send. Therefore, analytic products should express judgments as clearly and precisely as possible, reducing ambiguity by addressing the likelihood, timing, and nature of the outcome or development. Clarity of meaning permits assessment for accuracy when all necessary information is available. 9. Incorporates effective visual information where appropriate. Analytic products should incorporate visual information to clarify an analytic message and to complement or enhance the presentation of data and analysis. In particular, visual presentations should be used when information or concepts, for example, spatial or temporal relationships, can be conveyed better in graphic form, for example, tables, flowcharts, images, than in written text. Visual information may range from plain presentation of intelligence information to interactive displays for complex information and analytic concepts. All of the content in an analytic product may be presented visually. Visual information should always be clear and pertinent to the product's subject. Analytic content in visual information should also adhere to other analytic tradecraft standards. When you are confronted with analytical products, analytic standards are an useful and helpful instrument for evaluating the quality of the analysis and defend yourself against disinformation, superficial information, and news or assessments and evaluation provided by unprofessional people. Remember that every good analytical product must comply with the 5 main standards and 9 analytical tradecraft standards. If you appreciated the video, press the subscribe and like buttons. We will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching and bye for now.